Hey guys, welcome back. So is the idea of a sabbatical kind of pinging around in the back of your head? Well, maybe it's front and center. Yeah, I get it. Been there, done that. So today we're going to talk about how the heck you can take a sabbatical. And make sure you stay tuned because I've got a free download for you that can actually help you fund part of it. Are you sitting there struggling with trying to figure out how to live your life, your dreams, your way? Including how to take a sabbatical, and maybe you want to return to work after the sabbatical, or maybe you want to turn it into something else, then this is the channel for you. I call it the Freedom Strategy. So go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get alerted every time I put a new video out every Wednesday. Well, welcome back to the Freedom Strategy. If you're new here, my name is Heather, and I am here to help you build a freedom-based business, including taking a sabbatical, so you can actually get out there and live the life you want to live. And today I'm going to talk about how and why you should take a sabbatical. I've been through it with several people, and I can tell you, it can change your life when done correctly. So let's get right to it. All right, so sabbatical, like what is that? In fact, I don't even think I knew how to spell the word until I was in my 30s, which was a while ago. 2 B's, 1 T, in case you're wondering. Anyway, there are a lot of reasons people take a sabbatical, and basically what a sabbatical is you're taking a break from work in order to do something else. Now, a lot of people take sabbaticals to continue their education in another environment. A lot of people take sabbaticals to go volunteer somewhere. They might go to a third world country and help build homes for the poor people in that country. Some people take it to have a wonderful, once-in-a-lifetime experience. That is what we did. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So no matter what your reasons are for wanting to take a sabbatical, maybe you're just tired of work and you need a break in order to rejuvenate and collect yourself and your thoughts and analyze where you want to be. That is a great reason to take a sabbatical. That is what we did, like I said. You know, my husband was at a point in his career where he was pretty burned out after working like 40 years in the workforce. He needed something to work on and focus on that was totally and completely outside of his field. So we actually took that time to build a side business. And by the way, here's a link to how we ended up funding that side business. And we purchased a boat, which was part of the business, and we sailed through the Panama Canal from Florida to the West Coast, and it was amazing. It was a completely amazing once-in-a-lifetime experience, and that is what we did on his sabbatical. And he regrouped, he got reinvigorated, came back, and bam, landed the best job he's had in his whole career and is just like taken off like a rock. So there are a lot of reasons, a lot of good reasons to take a sabbatical. So what do you do when you decide you want to take a sabbatical? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is tell people, and I can tell you from experience, not everyone will react well to it. In this country, we are so bombarded with this philosophy that you have to get a job when you're 22 right out of college and work in that field and never take a break except maybe a week at Christmas and work until you're like 65 or 70. And at that point, you're too dang tired to enjoy life. It is ingrained in us. So do not be surprised when you go tell your friends, your family, even coworkers. By the way, don't tell your coworkers until we go through the other steps of plans you need to make in order to take your sabbatical. But don't be surprised if they don't react well. If they look at you like, well, yeah, I want a year-long vacation, or what the heck, that's completely irresponsible of you. You will get some of those negative reactions. That's okay. Just let it go in one ear and out the other. But you do need to lay some groundwork, and part of that groundwork is telling people. Now, probably the most important piece of laying the groundwork is that you actually do need to have a plan B or a backup plan or a plan when your sabbatical is over. So one thing you can do is talk to your employer and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. I'd like to take a year or 6 months. A lot of people take a 6-month sabbatical, and ask them if they will hold your position for you. They might do it and you might want them to do it. And if you're a valued employee and you really like your job, they probably will do that. So absolutely ask. You might be surprised at the answer. Now, if you're like my husband was and pretty ready for a shift, then he quit his job, but he didn't quit his job until he had sort of reconnected with some networking that he had already done in the past. He has a very long-standing career and has many, many people he knows. So he sort of reconnected with them to make sure that when he was ready to get back into the workforce, he had some contacts and connections that he could fire up and would have no problem getting a job, and that's exactly what happened. And it was awesome. And by the way, do you know how many people told him, "Oh my God, I wish I could do that, you're so lucky." Well, the truth is, they can do it, and so can you. So don't be one of those people who wishes they could do it. Be one of those people who did it. I would love to hear where you guys are planning to go on your sabbatical year. Please put it in the comments below, and maybe we'll do one of those on the next sabbatical we take. All right, so now you've had those conversations, you've made sure your work connections are there so you can come back and have an easy transition back after your sabbatical. Now let's talk about how to make the best use of your time on your sabbatical. Now, like I said, some people choose to further their academics during a sabbatical. Some people choose to go do some awesome volunteer work, and others take it as a time to reflect on where they are in their life and where they want to go. So use the time wisely. Make sure you have a plan and a goal, something you want to accomplish. And if that goal is reevaluate your life and where you are, that's fantastic. But don't just take that time and let it sort of waste away and then you blink and you're 6 months or 1 year are up and you're back at work at the same old grind. Really take the time to live in the moment, live in the experience, live in the education that you are learning. It will probably be one of the best years of your life. Now, like I said with us, one of the things that we did and that my husband, who is in IT, helped me with is starting our new online business. We spent the first 6 months of his sabbatical doing that and got so much accomplished, and then we did the boat thing, which is amazing. So if one of the purposes of taking a sabbatical year for you is to reevaluate and see if maybe you want a complete career shift, then spend the time evaluating it, thinking about what you're good at and what you love to do, and start to dip your toes into the water. It can be an online business, it can be an at-home business, but if you're ready to make a shift, really put good use of your time during that year. So then you might have your own business up and running and you don't even need to go back to work if you don't want to. Now, once you have your plan in place, the next thing you need to do is actually write up a budget. And man, a budget for a sabbatical can be all over the place. If you're going to fly around the world for a year, well, that's a pretty big budget. You might want to make sure you've got the funds to do that. Or if you're going to spend the time staying at home and evaluating whether you want to shift careers and maybe start your own business, well, then your budget can be much smaller. Once you have your budget, then you need to look at, okay, do I need some additional funding for this, or do I have enough money saved up for it? Obviously, only you can answer that. If you need some additional funding for it, I have a PDF, I'll have the link to it below, that has 20 different sources of income. Many of them can be done while you're on the road. Some of them can be done from your home. So that could be a great way to supplement funds for your sabbatical. And guys, that's kind of it. It's just not that complicated. Come up with an idea, make a plan, talk to people, make sure your career is intact as much as it can be when you come back, budget your sabbatical, fund it with some additional funding if you need to, and take your sabbatical and enjoy it and make the most out of it. If this video helped you understand why and how you can take a sabbatical, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe when you're down there, because I've got lots more videos coming out that will help you on this journey. And if you're ready to think outside the box and buck the system and kind of go against the grain, which frankly taking a sabbatical is, then go ahead and type #bucket in the comments below, because honestly, that's what it's all about. I so look forward to hearing all about your sabbatical ideas and what you're going to do and where you're going to go. I am so happy to be with you on this journey to your path to freedom, and I will see you next time on the Freedom Strategy.